All right, this is Sports for Real with Coach Hall. It's going to be a short live. I just want to respond to some of the things that I saw over the weekend in sports. Um, if you've been paying any attention to me, I've been telling you guys, been railing against the Knicks hiring of Mike Brown. Um, I didn't think I was being too harsh. I felt like this guy's got a great resume, and he deserves the opportunity for a shot somewhere because of the resume that he has. But in my opinion, and until he shows me otherwise, he is not a championship caliber coach. The success he did have as a head coach, he had LeBron James. Now, sometimes in life, how you start is how you finish. And he started his coaching career with a LeBron James, and now it looks like LeBron is trying to bully his way out of that situation. And even though he's already opted in for the season, he may not be in LA too long. And if he's not going to be there and still wants to play, New York might be a good destination because he started his playing career with Mike Brown. Why not end the career with Mike Brown? That's something to keep your eyes on. But the interesting thing about it, I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now, and before this weekend, all I ever heard pretty much was praise for the Knicks for giving Mike Brown the opportunity. But that changed over the weekend. I heard several commentators and analysts on the radio and TV talking about they don't think this was a good hire. They're basically saying the same thing that I've been saying about Mike Brown. I just don't think the guy's a championship coach. And for them to go from Tebow to Brown is lateral at best, but it's still a step down. And I agree with that. I just think it's not going to work out well for Mike Brown. Now, I got an idiot come on early in the morning. So let's go ahead and get rid of this fool. But like I said, Mike Brown, he's just not the, he doesn't strike me as somebody who's going to be a championship coach. And his background and track record proves it. And a lot of people are saying, and they're saying the same things that I've been saying. But the question at hand is Arch Manning. Why are we talking about Arch Manning? Chris Bristol, what's going on, man? Hello, Sam. Put your hand on the camera for a Lamar Jackson edit. Well, I don't know what that means, but anyway, I've seen you say that before. I wish you explained to me what you're talking about. But the thumbnail that I put on there is a split there. Years ago, they had this commentator who was big time for ESPN for a long time sports writer by the name of Beano Cook. He's passed on now for a while. And when he was active, he was there when the guy named Ron Powlus was coming to Notre Dame. And he got on the airwaves and said, "I'm doing all right, Chris, how are you?" He got on the airwaves and said that Ron Powlus won't not only win one Heisman, he's going to win two. That was Beano Cook years ago. A lot of times these guys get to talking and they just get carried away. And that's the kind of person Beano Cook was. He just went to talking, and next thing you know, he said some crazy stuff that he didn't believe. Well, Beano Cook 2.0 or 3.0, if you want to call it, Paul Finebaum was always highly opinionated, especially about things SEC. He comes out and starts talking about Arch Manning. First, he said that Steve, the coach of Texas, he should have put Manning in the game when Quinn Ewers was hobbling a little bit. And if he had done that, then Texas would have beat Ohio State and won the national championship. Then he said, moving forward, because this guy is so good, he expects them not only win the SEC, but win the championship. And because of winning the championship and the SEC, is also going to win the Heisman Trophy. Now, Manning's got a couple years left. If he comes through and wins this year, he's alluding to the fact that maybe Manning can win multiple Heisman. Same kind of thing that Beano Cook did years ago. Now, what happened with Paulus? How many Heisman did he win? Not a one. Did Paulus play in the NFL? No, he did not. He ended up playing NFL Europe, and then he got into the coaching profession, and now he's some kind of athletic administrator for Notre Dame today. So what Cook was saying didn't pan out for Paulus. And I'm thinking the same thing about this guy Manning. Now, Manning's going to make the NFL just because of his name. His granddad, Archie, he made the NFL. He made the Hall of Fame. And I'm not quite so sure that he has Hall of Fame numbers, but he went through a lot. And because of that, he was a very popular player, led him to get to the Hall of Fame. Now, Peyton, bona fide Hall of Famer. Eli kind of put me on the same line as Archie. Yeah, he won 2 championships, but he hadn't done a whole lot. Nothing exciting or overwhelming, much in the way as his father. Now, the difference between Eli and Archie is that Eli got those 2 championships, and like it was put to be the other day, Eli is in the Hall of Fame because the 2 championships he got was over Tom Brady. I thought about that, and I'm thinking maybe the guy had a good point when he said that. So now here we come with this guy, Arch. So we go from average Archie, great Peyton, average Eli. Now it's time for Arch to be great. Now, let's rewind back a little bit more. I told you guys that I'm a rideshare driver, and about 2 months ago, down here in Florida, lo and behold, I just happened to pick up the dad of one of the Texas Longhorns running back. He's the father of the Texas Longhorns running back, and we talked about all kind of stuff involving football and NIL and things along those natures. And I asked the question, do the players really think that Arch is that good? And according to Dad, if I can remember right, he says that the players are high on Manning, and they felt like he should have been playing much more than yours. Well, you know, the players, they have their favorites and all. So if they like Manning that much, then maybe there's more to him than what we think. But at the same time, the most popular guy on any football team is the backup quarterback. So if the other guy, he gets off track, then everybody's going to say, put the backup in. Then when you put the backup in, you don't do nothing, then where are you going to turn to next? Well, that's why you have to have level-headed coaches who make the best decisions for the team. And for whatever reason, Sarkisian, he said that yours is the best fit for our team, best leader for our team. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But there's no more hiding for Arch Manning. He's going to come right out of the gate, and if I'm not mistaken, he's going to have Ohio State, I believe, to start the season. So we're going to see just what he can do on the big stage. But the fact that Finebaum put that weight on him, that don't tend to do too well for players getting put in that position. And I'm starting to wonder if the pressure could actually crack up Arch. But it won't be long. We still got a couple months before the season starts, but it'll be here before you know it. And Mr. Manning, just like you do in the NFL, he gets to prove his worth before the eyes of people just like myself who want to see if you're actually what people are saying you are. Now, college is kind of professional football now, but it ain't like the big level of football. And if you're a good player, college is not that difficult. So it shouldn't be that much of a transition for him if he is as good as everybody is saying he's going to be. But I'm waiting to see. So, but that's just my take on that. But I just think guys like Finebaum, they get carried away and they start saying all this kind of crap. Could he win the Heisman? Sure he could. But for you to come out and say he's going to do this, and this, the likelihood of him doing that is not very good. And I don't expect to see any of that. And remember, those defensive linemen coming around that corner, it don't take but one shot. And if you notice, players are taking more and more pads off. They don't have anything on their knees and their legs. Don't take but one shot, one perfectly good shot for these guys to be laid out. I'm not wishing them any bad luck, but the fact is, these guys, they feel like they're invincible, and eventually it's going to catch up to a lot of them. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Mike Brown to the Knicks. I still don't agree with that too much, but he has a chance to show what he can do. But I just find it interesting that a lot of people are now saying the same thing that I've been saying from the beginning. When they start talking about considering Mike Brown, then that let me know right then that the Knicks never had a plan in the beginning. They had a knee-jerk reaction to the Knicks losing to the Pacers, and the fans got on social media talk about fire Tebow, and sure enough, that's what they did. But you would have thought that they had somebody in place to come in and be an improvement. But they went out to a couple of coaches. They went out to Udoka in Houston, and they tried to get Jason from Dallas, and it didn't work out for them. And that lets them know that people aren't overly excited to come to a place like New York, especially with the reputation of the bad owner that they have, and seeing that the success Thibodeau brought you that you hadn't seen in 25 years, and you kicked him out the door. What is that going to mean for the next guy to come in there and that don't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals? Now with Mike Brown, I think he's not going to make it to the Eastern Finals next year, even though there's injuries all over the place in the East, and they have a great chance to get back. But I don't see him getting back. And I don't think they're going to fire him because they're going to save face. But if he comes back the second year and they still don't get him to the finals, then that's going to be the end of Mike Brown in New York. And if it was me, I'd just take whatever they owe me and just sail off into the sunset, because you see that the Knicks, they will pay you after they fire you, and they don't care about firing you and having to pay you. So just like Thibodeau, I take my $30 million and go buy me an island or something somewhere and be straight. So we'll see what happens. But the question is, are the expectations too high for Eli Manning? And most of you guys, you 50-50 on the subject, partly because we don't have enough body of work to determine what this kid can do. His IQ for the game should be high. He says he's a mobile quarterback, which you pretty much have to be nowadays. And I've seen flashes of that. But again, when you come in off the bench as a backup, the other team hadn't put a lot of preparation into you, so it's easy for you to get off. But now that everybody knows that he's going to be the starter, now we get to see what this guy Arch Manning really is. And I'll be tuned in to watch. But for the sports, well, that's going on right now. You have the Tour de France. They should be on stage 3 today. And the two favorites, Pogacar and Vingegaard, they're neck and neck right now. They're 2 seconds apart. The first two stages, pretty much a sprint stage, the first one. And yesterday he had a sprint to the finish there, and Pogacar beat Vingegaard by 2 seconds. So those are the top three. The guy that won the stage yesterday, he got the yellow jersey now, but he's not going to be there. And if you're not familiar with the Tour de France, this guy Pogacar, he won the championship 2 years. Then Vingegaard came back and won the next two. Then last year Pogacar took it back. So it's a 2-horse race primarily between those two guys and their teams. Now the interesting thing about it is the way that the Tour de France is set up, you never know who the best riders are. If you watch it like I do, you'll notice that the teams, they lead out these guys, and then when they get to the finish, they'll peel off to the side so their lead rider can go up and get all the glory. Well, I'm saying this. Drop the teams and let's see who the best riders really are. I mean, if you got one guy that's the star, then he should be able to outride everybody. But no, that's not the way it's set up. They have other guys doing the work, and they lead out for them and clear the way and peel away in the end so you can win the race. I mean, I got a problem with that if I'm a sidekick, because I want to win just like he does. But, that's the way it goes. Kind of reminds me of, no, I won't even get into that. I'll say that for another day. But they hadn't gotten into the mountains yet. Again, this is only the third day. and there should be some more jockeying for position. But the race is really going to get exciting in the second week when you start going up in those high mountains. That determines who is going to win these races. So if you see Pogacar and Vingegaard, they're going to be riding on each other's wheels because they're going to stay attached. They're not going to let one guy get too far out ahead of the other one. And if it's a nip and tuck race to the last day, it's normally a ceremonial kind of thing to the finish line. But I just see that these two guys might end up racing head up on the final day of the race if they can stay up and make it that far. As you saw on the first day, they already got crashes all over the place riding on those cobbles, which I still don't understand why you would want to race across cobbles in the first place. But it adds an element to the race, and these guys are professional riders, so they know how to handle that. But it's kind of dicey riding across them. And the biggest part about the Tour de France is avoiding the crashes and making it to the finish line. And if these two guys make it to the finish line, it's going to make for an exciting final day of the race. But that's day 21 with a couple rest days in there. So at the end of the month, we'll be seeing about that. But the good thing about it is the Tour de France takes you right up to football season. Camps open up in less than 2 weeks. And then you're going to have your preseason games. Then the high school season is going to kick off. Then the college right behind it. The next thing you know is pro season. And you're going to blink again, and it's going to be February. And we're going to all be exhausted from another great football season. So until then, unless there's some breaking news, I'll catch you guys in the morning. So wherever you are, hope you have a great day. Please like and subscribe. That would be great. And I'll catch you on the other side. Until then, this has been Sports for Real. And I won't put the expectations on Arch Manning. I just want to watch him play. So I'll catch you guys on the other side. I'm out. Gotta go, man.